Test, test, test. Let me know how we sounding, y'all. Let me know how we sounding. What's going on? Test, test, test. How we sounding good. Perfect, perfect. How was y'all's weekend? I'm gonna go ahead and start bringing some stuff down in a second. Go ahead and like the live as you hop up in here. What's going on, Demetrius? I see you up in here. Happy Monday, happy Monday. Are we sounding good? All right, perfect. All right, so we dropped the Sunday chart analysis last night for y'all. A couple charts went as projected. GN did a nice little move, but like we talked about in the Sunday chart analysis, we need to break those highs to the left. You see, we hit that resistance level, rejected. So we are still bullish, but again, like we always talk about, like we were talking about last week, the rules to the uptrend. We need what? We need to break the higher high to the left. We need to break this resistance level and treat it as a support. All right, so we're still looking for buys, but again, this is why we want to wait for price to not just break but hold that level. Again, we can see price hit this level and retraced. So now I'm about to see if we can turn this resistance level into a support right here. All right. Now it's slowly taking off too. Again, it did retest this level a couple hours ago at 19,100. You can see it's pushing down. So again, we're either going to look for a retracement ourselves, or price can break a whole 18,980 as resistance. We're going to look for sales going there. See, gold ended up flying. GU starting to take off as well. So the market's kind of up right now. So we got a few setups we're going to be looking for, y'all. We got a few setups we're going to be looking at. Again, there's not really too much news going on today. Besides, the German prelim. And then later on tonight, we have news at 11:30. But besides that, we're simply just going to wait for our confirmations to be met. Again, it is Monday, though. Mondays and Tuesdays are typically the slower days out the week. Let me see what's going on with my music. Oh, that's what's going on with my music. Give me 1 second. There we go. We got a few minutes till the next 15 pops up. So I like this right here. Again, we're waiting to see this resistance can turn into support. So we see it's respecting that support right now. So again, we're going to see what the next 15 looks like. Right. So again, if we can look, if we can hold 26.70 as support, we look for buys going to 27.30, but it's going to need to hold this resistance as support in order for the uptrend to continue. All right, y'all. Our new 15 just popped up. These charts talking about. Let's see how this plays right here. See how it holds. Looking right now to see if I can hold this lower right here. There we go. Looks like it's waking up. Let's see what we can hold right here. So just gonna hold. Those just joined the stream. We're not into this trade yet. This is just a trade idea. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join the free signal for Telegram. You see your screen how we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead and hit that first link and check it out for yourselves. Sounds so good in here. There we go. Yes, I like this right here. Let's see if we can hold this right here. How was y'all's weekend? Write this trade idea just in case we do hop in this. There were some small moves that already took place since the Sunday chart analysis dropped. Y'all again, first link in the description. If you haven't watched it yet, make sure to watch it. Just like last week's Sunday chart analysis, as it goes over what we see price doing, not just Sunday night going into Monday, but Sunday night going through the entire week. All right, y'all. You check out last week's Sunday chart analysis, you'll see a lot of the charts ended up going as projected, just like the week beforehand and the week before that. All right, y'all. When we're doing after today, we're doing a recap of the month and a recap of the quarter because we are about to be going into Q2, y'all. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When can you charge? Drop them in the chat. Yeah, so let's see if we can hold this support here. You might talk about GC in reversal territory. So if y'all would have waited for this retest, y'all could see sales here. But again, like we talked about in the Sunday chart analysis, the downtrend won't officially be in play. We're still in reversal territory right here, right? So the downtrend wouldn't be officially in play until we start to break these next two levels and treat them as resistance, which will give us a lower low, right? Because prior to this rejection, this retracement on Friday is leading to this reversal right now. It was clearly in an uptrend still, right? So unless we break these next couple levels and hold them as resistance, we can't possibly see that bullish momentum come back into play, y'all. So again, this is why we're looking for sales down here. buys up here because the price breaks back above these levels here. We can see buys again because we was bullish prior to that. But if we break back below those levels, start treating these support levels back as resistance, we can see sales coming back into play. All right, y'all. So that's what we're watching and looking at right now. All right, so below these levels, we can see sales come back into play. Yeah, all right, let's just looking right here. Yeah, gold ended up taking all the way off. I think ended up taking all the way off last night. And again, you can see the same thing here. Resistance turned to support, resistance turned to support, resistance turned to support. All right, if y'all follow me on TikTok, if you don't follow me on Instagram and TikTok, make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Y'all see it scroll at the bottom of y'all screen. Instagram playmaker_way, TikTok _playmaker_way_. You check out my TikTok story. That's what I always be talking about. You behind the scenes with members of students, right? There is no best session. What you need to be looking for is the best setups, right? So again, every session has pairs that move slower than others, and every session is going to have periods or days where it's slow, right? But the markets are open, your confirmations are met. It doesn't matter what session it is, just take the setup. You get what I'm saying? Like we just saw gold fly. This did a nice move as soon as market open. Literally as soon as market open, did a move, picking up where it left off last week, right? So again, just focus on following the flow of price, make sure confirmations are met, and the charts are going to do the rest, right? Dropped a new crypto update for y'all yesterday. Make sure to check that out if you haven't already. Yeah, I either got a new video dropping today or tomorrow. Y'all find out though if you have your notice on. You already know I always let y'all know on the YouTube side as well when a new video dropped. I forgot when I scheduled it. It's either dropping today or tomorrow. I gotta see when I scheduled it. Oh, damn. Man, as soon as I was typing this trade up, literally as soon as I was typing this trade up, it's going as projected. This is why I do the lives too, because sometimes when I'm typing trades up, you know, price ain't gonna pull a chair out and be like, oh, Wade's trying to make sure the members are right. But again, if y'all was in a live, we literally talk about the setup. We're waiting for the support on the retest. We see it held that support. Now we see it pushing up, right? And y'all did not see or hear me break it down. Again, not only that breaks down the Sunday chart now, so if you go just rewind to the beginning of the live stream, this is what I was looking at. I was literally typing the trade up. I exploded off on us. But that happens. If it retraces, I'll post the signal out to the members. But again, if we can respect and hold 2670 as support, we're going to be looking for the buys going back up to 2725. And this goes back to what I've been talking about as well, right? Where again, if y'all, I might post a video on on Instagram because this is important as well, right? Right, because you follow me on TikTok, there was this dude that posted on TikTok, and he was basically trying to tell people like, you can't predict the markets. There's no way to predict what price is doing. You know, it's too many buyers and sellers doing this, that, and the third. There's too many patterns. And I was trying to tell him like, no, there's a literal algorithm in scriptures, like I tell you, that price follows. And if you just sit there thinking that, you can't understand price, then that's why a lot of traders be making these rash decisions, or they want to follow price, right? Like, you literally have people in the comments talking about, yeah, don't predict, react to price. I'm like, well, that's how y'all fall for the fake out and liquidity suits, when you're trying to react to price versus following the flow of price, right? So again, you got any of my live streams, even this one, I always have my buy and sell ideas to the right, and I'm just simply waiting for the confirmation. So again, we're not chasing price here. We know the flow of price. We know the game plan that we're looking for each pair. We know where we're looking for buys at. We know where we're looking for sells at. We know where we're not looking for buys at. We know where we're not looking for sells at. So now all we're simply doing is letting price do all the rest of the work, right? Which is, again, we're waiting for price to come to us and waiting to see if it meets our confirmations. If it doesn't meet our confirmations, we just let it keep doing its thing. If it meets our confirmations, we pull the trigger. It's that simple, y'all, right? And again, y'all rerun the live, y'all literally see this setup playing out exactly the same. When we look to the left, it's the same exact move it did when the market is literally reopened, right? And again, like I was talking about at the beginning of the live, literally retest this resistance low, turn it to support, right? And we pull out the rolls to the uptrend. Oh, we got y'all lucky I don't got it out right now. I need to figure out a better way. I need to figure out a better way to. I'm gonna figure out to make it easier on my end. I wanted to keep on flipping back and forth. Figure out another way to do it. Matter of fact, let's do it. There we go. I'm about to pull it up. I might try to figure out a better way so I keep on flipping back and forth like this, though. You guys got any questions? Drop them in the chat. When we need charts, drop them in the chat. Let's see what we got. Did you get a chance to check out that language software? No, I did not do that yet. I've been working on a few other things, so I'm not going to. So if someone hits me up, they're like, "Yo, I need this in another language. I'm trying to cop." I'll work on that specific language this week. Right now, like I said, I've been saying series, right? Because again, this playbook I just dropped is for technical analysis fundamentals. I got a few other playbooks breaking down certain things as well. But are you just saying in general, or you wanted a different language? So I know you was I think it was you that was telling me about that stuff on Instagram, right? So yeah, I'm definitely going to get that set up. I just want to get all my other stuff lined up first before I do all that. That way I can do it all at the same time. Translate all of them at the same time. Things like that. So like I said, this is just the beginning. I got a lot of stuff planned. I just don't like to talk about certain things until it's already, laid out there. But I got a lot of stuff set up. Again, the course is still getting the course revamp still got to drop as well. I got a lot of stuff try to work on. But if anyone needs a translate for a certain language, I can get that specific language and go from there. I'm definitely going to have a bunch of different languages for all the books translations, I should say. So we're about to see if we can break these highs to the right. And again, we can see a clear example here and a clear example here. Why again we don't want to breakout trade. We can also see an example here. That's why we're going to wait for that retest, right? Just like we saw here, we're waiting for that retest, especially because we saw this fat candlestick go to the downside. Again, that's why you don't want to chase price, but understand the overall direction and flow of price, because a lot of people would have thought, oh, look at that big rejection here, and then look at this fat candlestick going right back at this level that's treated as resistance. Now's my time to go for a sell, right? But then they're going to be confused why price just canceled out this big move to the downside with a similar candlestick to the upside. And that's because, again, little bullish right now. But for the uptrend to continue, yeah, from IG, yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna get that set up, and once that's set up, I'm gonna let everybody know. Like I said, if y'all need it in another language than English, right now, let me know, and I can pause what I'm doing and get that knocked out. But if not, I want to get the other stuff set up, and then I'm just going to sit down and get them all translated and stuff like that. So you can break these highs to the left. Make sure to like the live as well, y'all, as y'all hop up in here. And make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Let me pull this up really quick. Again, why are we looking for buys here, right? Why are we looking for buys here? We talked about this in TikTok Live last week on Friday, but we're about to break this down right now. We're going to keep this here though, so we can watch this, and then we're going to switch from this to GBP New Zealand, right? Because again, to understand why we're looking for what we're looking for here, we got what took place last week. Depending on the flow of price, we also had to determine to go over what took place the week prior to that, right? So let us rewind to the beginning of last week, right? So again, this is today. This was Friday, right? This was Friday, not last Friday, but the week before, the week beforehand, right? You can see here, this was Friday 2 weeks ago, right? So let's rewind. So again, this is why I always be talking about reversal territory. That's why I always differentiate. I never say, "Oh, we're bearish," just like with GJ yesterday, right? If you watch the Sunday chart announcement, what did I say about GJ? I said we're in reversal territory. We can see short-term sales from here to here, but the downtrend won't be officially in play until we see this happen, right? And I wouldn't look for buys again until we see this happen, right? So I don't just say all that, to try to sound sophisticated. I'm saying that because that's literally how it works, right? So prior to this, right, before we get to that, looking at this right here, obviously you know what G is looking like right now, but this is the same thing that we just saw in a smaller time frame take place, right? That's why I always talk about the bigger time, the small time frames. You read them the same, you just use them for different things. That's where people get messed up at, right? Just like I talk about all the trade breakdowns, go to day trading tips playlist, right? The bigger time frames tell you the overall direction and flow of price. The smaller time frames only explain what price is doing at that exact moment, which is why when you try to identify the trend and flow of price on the smaller time frame as well as enter on the smaller time frame, you have a higher likelihood of getting caught in these fake out liquidity sweeps, right? I guarantee again, there's somebody somewhere that was looking for sales here because we saw this big drop to the downside. We saw price reject this level. And now they're scratching their heads confused, wondering why price did what this did, right? And again, a lot of times people can be like, oh, buyers came in, sales came in, liquidity sweep. I'm like, no, it's a lot deeper than that, right? Because again, at the end of the day, yes, there's people buying when we're buying, people selling when we're buying, people buying when we're selling, people selling when we're selling. But we do not move the markets, right? I say it all the time. The banks, the governments, the hedge funds, right? The people we be seeing on the Wall Street movies and all that stuff. Those amount of capital, those amount of trades, right? There's like a movie, I forgot what the movie's called. I think it's called like Inside Trade. It's some movie, right? I forgot the name of the movie, right? But it's got this chick in the and she's trading company or hedge funds account, and it's funny as fuck. She was trying to trade news, and long story short, she lost like 6 figures in like a couple minutes because she was doing some dumb shit, right? But again, unless when you put a trade in, you're going to be in drawdown, risking 6 figures plus. We're not moving the markets like that, right? Which is why it's important to understand the rules of price and follow the rules of price. You get what I'm saying? And again, those just joining the stream, we broke this down during a live. I did enter this, but when I was typing the signal up, as soon as I looked up, price already was at TP1. I'm not going to call it signal when I'm already at TP1, TP2. And we see prices retracing, so it is what it is, right? But again, I talked about this in Sunday chart analysis as well as the beginning of the live stream. So y'all weren't paying attention to watching the charts, pay attention to watch the charts now. But right now, we're breaking down why I was talking about buys here and all that good stuff, right? So just because I'm in teacher mode, I'm gonna put this alert right here because if it goes past this, I want to know so I can determine if I want to secure profits or close the trade. All right. So let's break this down. And again, if you guys got questions, drop them in the chat. You confused what we're talking about, drop them in the chat. If you get any other charts, drop them in the chat. But right now, we're about to break down why we're looking for buys and what brought us to this point, right? So this is what price was looking like 2 weeks ago. Again, a lot of people would see this and think sells, but again, this is a reversal, right? So let's bring up the road to the uptrend. There we go. In order for the uptrend to continue, we need to break past the previous high, which gives us a new higher high. We also have to respect the support level the higher low is resting on, right? So we see, again, we have this resistance level here. We blew through it. Then we have this high, higher low, and we have this higher high, right? So boom, price just broke through this level. Is it treating this level as resistance? Not yet. Is it treating this level as support? Not yet. But again, this is why it's important to understand the flow price, not chase the flow price, right? So again, this isn't a lower low, and price has yet to either turn this low, confirm this level of support, or turn this level back to resistance. So this is when the patience comes into play and waiting for those confirmations. You get what I'm saying? Because again, rejections and reversals happen, but a reversal doesn't always mean the trend is going to change. As long as price doesn't turn the support level into a resistance and or make a lower low, we are still in an uptrend and still only looking for buys, right? So this is when the patience will come into play to see if price is going to give us the downtrend or if price is simply just going to reject, volume pick back up, and then bring the bullish momentum back into play, right? So with the play button, we see here the price is attempting to hold this low as resistance. But let's see if we get a lower low. We did not get a lower low. Again, do y'all see how we did not get a lower low? Right? This would have been a lower low. A price held that low as resistance. This would give us a lower low. You see how price didn't give us a lower low? Right? But a lot of people would have been looking for sells here, right? And again, we went for sells during the reversal territory, but even when we went for that sell, I mentioned that was reversal territory, and the only reason I went for the sells because it broke past another level, right? Because again, we see here how we was going for sells, right? But before that, we was going for buys. But again, what did we just talk about? Let's bring it back up. As long as price doesn't turn the support level into a resistance and or make a lower low, we're still in the uptrend, still only looking for buys. So we can clearly see here the support level, right? Let's zoom in actually, right? So we can actually, so y'all can actually see what we're talking about, right? So we can see here, and this is again reversal territory. We see how price is still kind of ranging, right? But give me 1 second. Right, so we can see here how price turned this resistance low back into support, right? But then we see here when price retraced, again, we took unnecessary loss simply by not waiting for it to see if price was going to hold that level of support, right? But we see this level here. We go back, you see how price up here, again, this resistance level, and look where this resistance level is at, y'all. This resistance level where, again, the uptrend ended and the reversal took place, that's currently where GN is at right now. We're going to get to that when we get to that, right? But again, we see how this support level, right? Price never had this level back of support, but from this support level, we see how we had a reversal, price rejected, and this blue consolidated above it, and it kept on pushing. So when price trace back here, you see that again, failed to hold that support, turned to resistance, which is when we went for these sells, right? Again, we see here price failed to break this little tree as resistance. We had a reversal, but again, we see here the price never broke back above this low, turned it to support. Was when the price broke back down below. We went for sales again, right? But after that, again, we saw the price reverse. It was waiting again the same level. You see how I rejected twice and pushed back down. We was going to look for buys here. And y'all go back to Thursday the 20th live stream when this happened. Yeah, we was talking about buys here. But again, we see the same exact level was held as resistance, never got broken back and held as support, which is why when price rejected that level, dropped down and went back down to this level, where the initial reversal into the downtrend came into play, right? We went for sales, right? But after that, you can see that we did not go for buys or sells. We simply waited for us to get out of reversal territory and go back into the uptrend or downtrend, right? So now let's go back into the bigger time frame, right? So this is what we see right here. So again, what was that date? The 20th, right? You see here, if price would have broke back above this low and traded from resistance to support, you could saw a possible higher high come into play like we see here. We see here now, price is literally trying to break back above that low and trade from resistance to support again. But this is why, again, it's important to understand what's going on so you can avoid certain figures of liquidity sweeps. And again, the ultimate goal isn't to catch every pip in the market. The ultimate goal is to go for high probability, high quality setup. So that's why it's important to stick to these rules and follow them, right? So now let's hit the playbook and see what happens, right? Again, a lot of people would have went for sells here, but you got to understand that, again, we had clear bullish momentum. We had a reversal. Price, again, the resistance level, rejected. It's being treated as support. So now, in order for the uptrend to continue, what do we have to do? We need to break past the previous high, which would give us a new higher high, right? And that's what we're currently attempting to do right now, as we see. But we just did it right now, right? But prior to it doing it right now, what else did we see? We saw price rejected and retraced. And those that have been watching me for at least 2-3 weeks, what have y'all heard me say all the time when we have big moves happen or take place at the beginning of the day, right? Because again, the sessions split up, the section off the daily candlestick of the day, right? There's a London, Australia session, London session, New York session. So London session, we're just 40 minutes into London session. So when we, well, can't see it now, but if y'all was here in the beginning of the live, y'all saw when I was on the daily time frame, saw the wick and all that good stuff, right? So yeah, I wish I could show you. I can't really show y'all more because it's playing out. But if y'all replay the live, you'll see what I'm talking about when we was on the daily time frame. It was a wick on the daily candlestick. Right? We can also see here, right? We had a big push to the upside. Then we had consolidation retracement. Now the volume's picking up to pick up where we left off. So now from here, we're either going to see price chill some more, or we're going to see price break this resistance level, hold it as support, and give us that new higher high. You see what I'm saying? And again, we can even see this here with the marked off levels. Again, we have this reversal. Price never turn this resistance level back as a resistance. Try, but as you can see, it reversed. And you can see that red wick. Look at that. Look where it tapped. Tapped, turned this resistance back as support. And what happened as soon as that red wick tapped this level? That's when the new high came into play. And that's bringing us to where we're at right now. Right? And also, we're going to pay attention to this. This is, again, higher highs being made, no lower lows, right? So again, that's why it's important to follow the flow of price and not just focus on one candlestick. Because again, one candlestick is just part of the puzzle. You got to put all the candlesticks together to see the full picture and the full puzzle. You know what I'm saying? This would have been a nice way to end the month. To continue to only have one loss for the month. But it's all good. If y'all was in the live with me and y'all got in on this and you're watching Sunday chart now, if you're in this with me, shout out to y'all. Again, I couldn't call this signal because again, y'all was here. I was waiting for the retest. And then we was watching this. As soon as I finished typing it up, I looked up. That thing shot up 10 pips. I was like, oh shit, is what it is. All right, so that's why I be going live as well, because that way y'all can see what I'm looking at and be ready to get in it with me as well once those confirmations are being met. So let's bring this back to GU. We don't need this no more. And again, if you guys want to look at any charts, drop in the chat. If you're confused about what we just broke down, ask questions. Don't just sit there and be confused, y'all. I'm here to help y'all out. U15 just popped up. That nasty move right there. So now we want to see if price either going to just completely blow through this level, or again, what is the rules to the uptrend? We got to turn the support, this resistance level into a support. All right. About to see if we hold this level as support. Let me catch it to the trap. Appreciate all the likes, y'all. Make sure to like the live as you hop up in here. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Let me catch to the chat, see what we're talking about right here. I figured it would help you go in there. Yeah. Oh no, trust me, I appreciate it, Demetrius. I'm going to do it. Trust me, I'm going to do it. But like I said, that's just the first series, so I want to get the at least one, if not the rest of the playbooks out before I do that. That way I can just do them all. Obviously not at once, but if I can do them all at once, it'll make my life easier. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm definitely going to do that. Trust me, I'm definitely going to do that. H-bar, we can look at H-bar. What's going on, TJ? TJ Leaks, what's going on? What's going on? We can look at H-bar. That's funny you said that. I just dropped the H-bar update. I just dropped it yesterday. So if you haven't watched the XRP H-bar XLM updates, be sure to check that out. It's my most recent video on this channel as of right now. But I got you. But still make sure to check that out, because I talk about XRP as well as XLM and give specific price points to pay attention, look out for on there as well. But we're gonna talk about HBR right now. I got you. All right. So look at HBR. So again, what do we see here, right? We're simply retracing. Okay? It's a little bit, we don't got too much info right here, but we're retracing, right? Because again, we saw this was the resistance level. We saw clear lower lows getting made here. Then we saw the reversal. Then we saw price not break this level. Now we're retracing. So for the upper to be set in stone and continue, the same exact thing we just talked about, right? So price is making its way back down to retest this to see if it can hold that support. And another thing, you go into my YouTube channel, you go to my Bitcoin playlist, you will literally see. Hold on one second. Let me make sure it's still live. Okay, I'm about to show y'all, but y'all can literally see that I've had the thumbnail for the past few months showing y'all that price was going to retrace and retest that support level below us. If you don't believe me, all you gotta do is go to my YouTube channel and go to all the Bitcoin analysis. You'll see I literally been using the same thumbnail. And the reason why I've been using that same thumbnail, not because I'm lazy, I can't make a new thumbnail or a screenshot from the actual video, but I wanted to slowly put into y'all's minds to be prepared. And y'all can see it right. Y'all can. I can't point it because it's gonna play the video. But y'all can literally see right there. And again, you look at most of my Bitcoin analysis from the past couple months. I've been showing y'all and telling y'all that price will retrace and retest these levels here, right? And we see the same thing about to take place right here. So now I've been telling y'all, most of these charts, there's only a couple charts that are actually in downtrends in. Most of these charts are simply just doing retracements. And if you look at the stats, even crypto and stocks, right? Most of these charts either made all-time highs or met and touched the all-time highs. And then guess what happened? Retracement happened. Now, is that shocking or surprising? Well, let's look and see what happened with NAS100 earlier. What was it, this year or last year? I'm terrible with time. But let's look what happened earlier this year. It was this year. Interesting. When we hit all-time highs, right? So again, we see here when NAS first broke all-time highs, what happened? Oh, a retracement and a downtrend came into play, right? Then what happened again when price broke all-time highs? Oh, a retracement, a reversal took place, right? So again, I'm showing this because again, just because the resistance level gets hit doesn't mean the downtrend is going to come into play. We see here a reversal simply took place and we broke all-time highs again. But again, what happened when we hit all-time highs again? We rejected, we consolidated for forever just to break all-time highs again. And then what happened after all-time highs got hit again? The downtrend came into play, right? So that's what I'm telling you. I'm like, if we actually go into a downtrend, which is very possible, but if that does happen, that's nothing to be scared about because you make money on the sales. There's bull cycles, bearish cycles, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. But again, when we look and see what price has done in the past to other charts that hit all-time highs, it's not too shocking or surprising that we see stocks hit all-time highs or broke all-time highs and now we're retracing. Bitcoin broke all-time highs, now we're retracing. XRP almost met all-time highs, retracing, right? Same thing when we look at H-bar, right? That's the data here, but we see here this resistance level got hit and we're retracing. So at this point, we're about to retest 12 cents. And now we can hold 12 cents as support. We're going to see price push back up and make a new higher high. If we reject that level, we're going to see either the downtrend come into play or just some more retracements, right? So that's what's going on there right now, right? But so I'd pay attention to 15 cents and 12 cents right now, the DCA at, right? But in order for us to still remain bullish, we're going to have to respect 12 cents as support when it comes to H-bar. All right, folks. No, I don't. Like I said, like the reason why I understand all this shit is because I took time to read the charts. That's why I always say, like, it's so simple. Like trading is so simple, but we make it complicated as well as our bad habits and lack of discipline makes it complicated, right? We make it complicated because again, what do most people do when they first learn or when they first discover trading? Let me not say when they first learn trading, when they first discover trading. What is the first thing we've all done, right? It's like a canon event, it's character development. What is the main thing we've all done when we first discovered trading? Found a broker to put our money in. Again, what mostly happens, you lose money, right? So again, that's why I don't like when people like you're like, don't take this wrong, but if you simply just lay on statistics, you gotta go into the real world and you also gotta think about these statistics, right? Like, because again, I don't know about you, but besides I've taken a few surveys, like the little website that we take those surveys, but for the most part, all these studies and these surveys they be pulling out, I've never attended any. I'm okay, let me know. But for the most part, they're not knocking down everybody's door to get these information statistics, right? So that's why I really like statistics for the most part because a lot of them are skewed and not really accurate. But it's the same thing when it comes to trading, right? What do a lot of people say about trading? Oh, it's risky. Oh, we lose a lot of money. Why is it risky? Why are people losing a lot of money? Because we put our money into a broker the first week about learning about what trading view is, and we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Think of any other space or subject. If you have zero knowledge on what the hell you're doing, you're most likely going to do what? Make mistakes and fail, right? So again, it's not an anomaly strictly to day trade, right? So that's why I like when people say that. And then on top of that, the failure rate isn't a failure rate. Now, you've been following me for a while. You know I've always been saying this, right? Especially behind the scenes of one session. The failure rate is not even a failure rate. It's a quitting rate, right? Because again, if you are going to ever tell somebody that, oh, I've day traded for X amount of years and, I've never lost a trade or I've never blown an account, unless you had a mentor from the very beginning, that is a lie, right? So again, it's not a failure rate, it's a quitting rate, because everybody's going to blow an account. Everybody's going to lose a trade, right? But if you quit it, of course you're going to fail, right? Anyone that's profitable has lost a trade, had a lose streak, or blown an account, failed challenges. But the reason why they're profitable is because they learn from their mistakes and figured the shit out, right? So it's the same thing with me. I say it all the time. It's one of my pin messages on TikTok. It might be my pin messages on Instagram as well, right? Again, when I used to work 2 jobs, blah, 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 I blew over 30K. It was more than 30K, but I'm not going to put all my business out there like that. But I blew over 30K doing dumb shit, right? Again, I was getting paid every other week. How my 2 jobs, paychecks lined up. So literally every week, 1 week, my paycheck came, I was refilling my live account. The next week, I was buying a challenge. And then that same week, I was so bad. I remember 1 week, I bought, no lie, 1 week I bought like 4 challenges. And the reason why I bought 4 challenges, because it was like I was failing them like every other day. So I was like, fuck, I'm gonna buy another one. Damn, I just blew that in 2 days. Let me buy another one. Like I just blew that. Okay, well next week I'm gonna buy another one my next paycheck. So I was waiting every week buying challenges, and every other week buying, we're not buying, putting more money in my live account. And I was just taking turns blowing my live account, failing a challenge, refilling it, blowing my live account, failing a challenge, buying another one, failing a challenge, buying another one, failing a challenge, blowing my account, filling in more up, right? So then eventually I was like, yo, this shit's not working, bro. Like, I'm just throwing my money away at this point. And again, I said this before too, right? I'd go on Instagram, and the same day I lost the trade, I see someone win a trade. And there'd be even times where this trade I took, like let's say I took a gold buy and I took a loss, but I'd see a few hours later somebody posting them in a gold buy and they made money. So I'm like, okay, people are making money and they're trading the same shit I'm trading. That means I'm doing something wrong, right? I never really, and that's probably another thing too. Like I was told about it, obviously, but like I usually question a lot of shit. Like I was told about the bear bull concept. I was like, that just don't really make any sense to me, right? And then a few other concepts just didn't make sense to me. But I was like, okay, look, if motherfuckers are making money doing this shit, and I'm losing money, that means I'm doing something wrong. So the turning point for me was because again, before I figured out how to read the charts, I had a quote unquote strategy. I used these indicators right here. You see to the left. I used fibonacci. I used all types of shit before I figured shit out, right? That's why I say like this stuff is just an extra confirmation, because at the end of the day, it still lines up with what we're breaking down right now. But it was the turning point for me was when I finally passed the fraud firm account. Yes, I finally passed the fraud firm challenge. Profit. And that's why they'd be like, look, we're not going to let you get your payout. You gotta be profitable for 2 weeks. I forgot. I think it was 2 weeks to be profitable. I had to be profitable for a month. I forgot. It was an old profit that no longer exists. But long story short, I did some dumb shit. I had the minimum amount to get a payout, but because I was feeling myself, I was over trading. I broke my rules. And then I lost some money. I was still up in profit, but I wasn't up before. So again, like most people do in the beginning stages, learn how to trade. I try to make the money back instead of just backing off. So then I lost even more money. Again, I still had profits, but I went back to what I had originally. So I was doing dumb shit, trying to make the money back hastily. Next thing you know, I blew the account. Yep, I know. Well, you're dumb. Yep, blew the account doing dumb shit. So after I blew that account, I went into my personal account, finished trading crypto, and I remember the coin. I remember the coin. That's the coin blew my account and was the turning point. I was day trading Solana, right? Because again, I used to only trade gold, crypto, and indices back in the day, right before I learned how to read the charts. Because the strategy I had only worked on those, right? So I remember I was trading Solana. I was going for a sell. And this was way before Solana was like even like freaking never even touched 200 at this time. This was back in like 20. I think it was like either late 2021 or early 2022 when this was all going down. Yeah, so I was trading Solana. And I went for a sell, and the price retraced. I knew sell was the move, but again, this is before I learned and understood all this shit. Right? I would take a trade and look at my account versus looking at the chart. So all I saw was red, and I started freaking out. But my stop loss never got hit yet. But again, new trader doing dumb shit, whatever. So I was like, you know what? I'm in drawdown. Buying no sells is the move. So instead of just letting this trade play out, I'm gonna throw another position in. And guess what happened when I threw another position? I just kept on retracing. I said, I know sells is the move, and I was desperate, especially because after I just fucking blew my live account, I was like, bro, I need to win right now. So instead of waiting for the markets to give me a win, I was trying to force a win out the markets, which is why I'm against the bear versus bull concept. Because you go with the bear versus bull concept, and you got any competitive nature in you, you're going to be trying to do what? Compete against the markets, compete against other traders. And again, you're not going to control the markets. You can't beat the markets, right? We've all tried it. We've all failed. We can't beat the markets, which is why I always stress to respect the fall and flow of price because of that, right? So again, continue with the story. This is how dumb I was. I had like 4 positions on, y'all. Every time price retraced 4, I put another position. I had like 4 positions in drawdown, and then my account over marginalized. Now, guess what happened an hour after my account over marginalized? That thing tanked. Not only did it tank, it tanked the entire fucking day. So I was stuck at work watching this thing tank all day, knowing if I would have just took that L, had my stop loss get hit, and then re-entered, not only would I have made my money back on my loss, I would have made a shit ton of money back, right? So after that point, I was like, yo, I took the rest of my pennies out of my account, and I was like, look, I ain't putting no more money into this trading shit until I figure it out. And again, anybody that knows me in real life, y'all know I did that shit. I was the trading dude back in Georgia. So there's a lot of traders in Georgia now, but back then I was a trading dude. Everybody knew about trading. I'd be at a park. That's why I say, like, you don't got to go no life mode, but you gotta if you want something, you gotta put the effort in, right? Because again, I spent hours on the chart studying, but again, I wasn't in no life mode. Yeah, I stopped playing video games and shit for a little bit, but like if people wanted me to come out, I still popped out, but I was still on my phone looking at the charts and shit and all that, right? So again, I saw people on Instagram and TikTok making one of the days I was losing money, so I knew it was possible. So after I said I'm not gonna put no more money in my account until I figure this shit out, I literally sat down and was like, okay, what do I know? Wasn't much, right? I forgot what I wrote down for the part I knew. I knew it wasn't much. I was like, what do I not know? And what do I need to know? I was like, I need to know how to fucking read these charts. So that was the first thing I focused on, was learning how to read the charts. So again, I was staring at the charts for hours. That's why, again, when I do it on TikTok, I don't know when to do. If you're on TikTok and watch the video, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm like, there's no way. The dude was talking about he was staring at the charts. I was like, there's no way you was staring at the charts for 10 hours a day and you did not see some shit, right? You was either looking at the wrong thing or you wasn't like just staring at it, right? Because again, when I was looking at the charts, that's why I don't really like all the lingo and stuff, because I'll throw you off and stop you from actually seeing what's taking place. You get what I'm saying? Like this whole breakdown of why the trend continued. I did a breakdown of why I did a breakdown like this on TikTok the other day, like just like how he broke down why the uptrend came back into play. Imagine I did a whole breakdown like I just did like 10, 15 minutes ago, and then somebody says, oh, so that was basically liquidity. I was like, no. That is not why the shit just did that, right? And again, the reason why I don't like all that stuff is because when you try to focus in on a certain candlestick or term, that's how you get lost in the sauce. Because again, liquidity sweeps happen in an uptrend, liquidity sweeps happen in a downtrend, liquidity sweeps can cause reversals. Liquidity sweeps, you can't just focus strictly on that. You have to still focus on everything else. Is a liquidity sweep in an uptrend? Is a liquidity sweep in a downtrend? If you're talking to me like that, I can get behind that, right? But you're just like, oh, that's just because of a fair value. I'm like, no, this fair value gap's going to upside and downside. This fair value gap also cause reversals and retest confirmation. So again, it's not just a simple candlestick. That's just one piece to the puzzle, right? So again, I'll stare at the charts for hours, and then like 2 weeks went down the line, and I was like, hold up, I've seen this before, right? I was like, this looks familiar. So then I started scrolling to the left, scrolling to the right. I put a line on my screen. I'm like, wait a second. This same level that was being treated as resistance, the next day was treated as resistance again. Well, this required me about support resistance, but I was like, price just rejected this level and did the same rejection yesterday, right? And then when I put a line on the screen, I zoomed out. I'm like, wait, it didn't just do this yesterday. It did it the day before yesterday. No, fuck, it did it the whole month ago. It did it 3 months ago. So then when I started seeing that price wasn't just randomly forming candlesticks and going up and shooting down, going up and shooting down, was actually reacting to levels and certain rules of price. That's when I started to figure out and put up this playbook, right? And you know what I'm saying? And that's when things came to this, right? So then once I understood how price worked, that's when I was like, okay, now I know how price works. What else do I need to figure out? Okay, I keep on over leveraging and blowing my account. So I need to figure out how to never do that, which is when I figured out how to count pips, right? And again, now there's a lot of stuff to make it easier, but I literally had to do trial and error, pull up my calculator for an hour, take a test trade on the demo, and then literally calculate, okay, I put this lot size and it went down this much and I made this much or lost this much. So I was like, okay, if I put this lot size and I made this much, what is the value? So I literally had to figure all this shit out the hard way to figure out how to calculate my lot size, how pips work, how lot sizes work tied to pips, how risk reward works, how the rules of the price work, how to actually mark off relevant levels. Then I had to figure out a trading strategy. Like I had to figure all this shit out on my own, right? So that's why I'm so passionate about it. Why I also stick to these rules, because again, at some point, you just gotta understand that, it's you versus you just gotta figure it out. But again, this is what brought me to this point. Is why I'm so strict, right? I didn't just, open up a candlestick chart and became strict. It was a process. And unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way, but all the money I lost, I made back in. So it's just part of the process, right? And that's why I'm so strict with the rules. I'm so passionate about teaching this stuff because, again, I don't want everybody to make the same mistakes I made, right? And there's a lot of people online trying to say this, that, and the third, either giving bad information, trying to say it's hard to try to discourage people. I'm like, bro, it's only hard because people don't know what the fuck's going on, right? But again, that's just like any other field, any other space. So that's why I don't really like when people try to make it seem like day trading's the only skill or trade where you have to learn some shit and it's difficult or everybody can't succeed in it. I'm like, that's any field in life, right? Even freaking middle school and high school, trying out for a sports team. Not everybody's going to make the team. And even if you make the team, not everybody's going to start or play in the game, right? We don't be telling, what I'm saying? So that's why we do the shit we do. Well, that was a little ramble and spiel. Let me catch you to the chat, y'all. Y'all know I can yap a little bit, but at least it's helpful yaps, right? At least it's helpful yaps. So we got NAS retesting this level again. We do got this gap right here, and we do have a new lower low made. So don't be too sharp surprised if retracements do happen, but we are still looking for sells regardless on NAS100. Again, this is why you don't want to be too hasty and rush a trade, because again, imagine if we went into it on London session, we see price was here, and we're like, oh, we don't want to miss this buy. Boom, price is right back at this retest spot. So now let's see if we can even hit that level as support. Wait, let me cut you to the comment. Was going on for a little bit. I just want to make that clear, right? Because I always don't go into full detail. I know we got a lot of new people now. I'm like, every quarter I can pull out my chair and light the campfire and ghost story or whatever. But yeah, we got a new 5 minute. I'm gonna hop in a second. Let me catch up to this chat, y'all. Yeah, we can check out S&P. I haven't traded this in a while, but let's see what's going on with it. Let's see what's going on with it. Yeah, so y'all can see I haven't traded this in a minute too, right? Literally since quarter last year. Even me not trading this, we can still see how this resistance level right here got turned back into a resistance level here. So it's kind of the same situation in both as NAS100, but I'm not gonna be lazy. I'm gonna give you some specific price points. So let me just drag this over really quick. Put this back on GN, so what GN is talking about. And let me just mark some levels off so I can give you some more accurate levels to pay attention to and play off of. So give me 1 second. You guys want to look at any other charts in the chat? I don't know, I lost a couple of people going into that little spiel, but I don't mind at all because those that listen, you know, hopefully y'all help some of y'all out. All right, and then the story is actually good for tell too because some of y'all might be in the same situation, or this will help you not get into that same situation. So, you know, shout out to those still listening. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. All right, let's drag this back over. All right, so looking at SPX, it's kind of just like with NAS100, right? It's kind of similar situation as 100 with bearish, had new below the downdraft come back into play, right? So very similar to NAS100. So we're going to be looking for sales still. Now again, we have this support level here. For the downtrend to continue, we're going to need to break that support level and treat it as resistance at 55.35. So we can break 55.35 and hold 55.35, 55.33 as resistance. We can look for continued sales going to 54.85. Now, if it fails to break this level, don't be too shocked or surprised if it retraces back up to 55.80 or even 56.26, right? We're still looking for sales as long as it doesn't break back above and hold 5,700 as support. Right, so as long as we don't break back above and hold 5,700 as support, we're going to be looking for sales still. Now, why is that, right? Because again, this is why I always say reversal territory. Reversal doesn't always mean the trend is going to change. Let's bring back out the playbook. What does the playbook say? Whoops. Rejections and reversals happen, but reversal doesn't always mean the trend is going to change. So again, prior to this reversal, we had a lower lows and we had a downtrend, right? So for the uptrend to continue, what needs to happen? We have to respect the support level. So in this case, we'd have to turn this resistance level into a support. And when we hit the play button, we see price did not hold that level as support, right? Which is why the bearish momentum came back into play. So for the downtrend to officially continue, it's going to have to break this low to the left and make this a lower low. You get what I'm saying? That's what's going on with SPX. Over leverage. That's why I also talk about this in one of the other playbooks as well. But that's what I talk about, right? A lot of times people try to make the money on the front end. You got to make your money on the back end, right? You got to make your money on the front end instead of the back end. So a lot of people think, okay, if I put this lot size, I can make X amount of dollars. But you can also lose X amount of dollars as well, right? So that's why I always tell people. This is one reason why I always say you go for a 1 to 2 to 1 to 3 minimum restore ratio setup, because you go for a 1 to 2 to 1 to 3 minimum restore ratio setup, you'll always be able to cancel out your losses, and your wins will always be bigger than your losses, right? And I break this down in more depth in this video right here. All right, that's why when I be like, if you do this, you can never blow an account again. If you follow these steps, you can always pass the challenges. It is true. Again, I've done it. I've had profit from challenges where I was literally 100% away from violating, but because I stuck to the game plan, I made it all the way back to the base amount, and then went back into profit and got my payouts. I've done that shit many times before. And my personal accounts, following these rules, I have not blown an account since. Again, that might sound impossible to somebody, but it is facts. If you stick to the playbook, you will not be able to blow your account, right? If you have a high win rate, and you always go for 1 to 2 to 1 to 3 minimum risk ratio setups, and you risk the same amount every single fucking trade, you will never blow an account again. And I can confidently say that because I have been doing this and running the playbook since 2022, 2023. And I have not blown an account since I've been running the playbook. Right? Since the playbook's been out, I have not blown an account. I'm simply just sticking to the rules. Right? So that's why, again, a lot of people try to, and I used to do this too, a lot of people try to make money based on the lot size they put. That's how y'all blow y'all's accounts. Right? Just like when people post online, right? That's why I only post like student receipts as far as like dollar amounts. Whenever I post something that I've done, I always talk about pips and risk reward. Now I don't really get the backlash anymore, but when I first was coming to the scene, people like, you always talk about pips and risk reward. Why don't you talk about how much you made? I'm like, one, you don't even know my business, but two, how much I made is not going to be how much you make, right? Unless you have the same account I had and you're risking the same amount, or you're risking the same amount. So that's where people get fucked up as well. And this is the over leveraging also, because you're so used to seeing people posting, oh, I made $1,000 today, I made $5,000, I made $10K today, I made $50K this month. So when you're on your $500 or $1,000 account and you're making good money for your account size, you're not satisfied because you've seen all these videos online where everybody's minimum, according to y'all or to them or what they put out, is $1,000 a day. So you're not happy with your amount. So you want to over leverage so you can kind of get what they're making. But again, I'll talk about this in the upcoming playbook too, right? Let's say I'm trading 100K in capital, right? And let's say someone else was trading 10K in capital. Let's say we both on that day made 10%. But instead of saying, oh, I made 10%, what if I go online and say, oh, I made 10,000 today? And then you're like, oh, well, damn, I only made $100 today. You're going to think I made more than you. But in reality, I didn't make more than you. I still made 10% like you. The only reason why it seems like I made more is because the dollar amount is more. The only reason why the dollar amount is more because my 10% is a bigger 10% because I started off with more. You see what I'm saying? So that would be confusing a lot of people. That's why I always talk about risk reward and pips, because we can all catch the same amount of pips, right? We all catch the same risk reward ratio setup. But the amount we make is going to be completely different based on how much we risk and what our account sizes are. Right, so this is why I always talk about think percentages, not numbers. Again, make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok because I talk about this all the time. See, it's probably the bottom of your screen. You want to think percentages, not numbers. Then those percentages will then turn into those whole numbers. A lot of times people think whole numbers first, and that's why they could be getting fucked up, right? Because I get questions all the time. Hey, wait, how? That's why I even made the video a couple weeks ago. 2K a week, because I always get videos like, how can I make 100 a day? How can I make 500 a day? How can I get 10K a month? I'm like, well, first thing I always ask is, what is your account size? Because your account size and how much you risk per trade is going to determine how much you fucking make, right? So again, you want to think percentages, not numbers. That's why, like, when I have another video on YouTube too, titled, I'm not going to drop in the chat. You're going to have to go search for it. It's not that hard to search. You just got to type in the title. But I got another video on YouTube titled "How to Double Your Account in 2 Weeks." Remember when I dropped that? Like, I made a video like I do that like at least once a year. But I remember the first year around I did that. I even made videos on Instagram talking about people like, that's impossible. You can't do that. I'm like, I just broke the math down in real time. The math is on the green screen behind me or in my face. I just broke the math down in real time. But you're still saying it's impossible. even though the math is math. But again, people think it's impossible because that's not the norm that people talk about because they never done it. But like we actually, again, have a game plan, a playbook, you stick to the game plan, you'll realize a lot of shit is very possible, right? Because again, watch that video I just dropped in the chat, watch that video, listen to the math, and apply that math to your account. You'll see that the math is math and it's very possible. You know what I'm saying? I've done it plenty of times. Now I'm sure I'm looking for this chat. Yeah, it's all part of the game. It's all part of the game. Liquidity, fake outs, reversals. Right, this is all part of the game. And again, there's reasons for why price does what it does. And it's not simply just because they're just out to get us. Yes, some of these things play in to make it harder to make money, and they do get us. Well, not us, but they do get people that don't understand what's going on. But that's not the entire purpose or the sole reason. Like all these retracements and stuff aren't happening strictly just to fuck people up in the markets. Again, there's a reason for it. And things can always have more than one purpose or more than one use. You get what I'm saying, or more than one job. But the whole, if you just have that mindset, it's going to fuck y'all up, right? Because I see it all the time. You have that mindset, bears versus bulls, or it's just manipulation, all this stuff. You're going to come to the charts with a loser mindset, thinking you're already at a disadvantage. In reality, you're not. There's manipulation, great. There's rules to the market, great. Figure out those rules, and you're straight, right? But again, a lot of people, they acknowledge that there's manipulation or there's rules to the markets, but instead of learning the shit, they just say it, and then they try to find everything and every other way to trade besides learning the rules of the game, right? As I try to play spades or fucking rugby, but you don't know the rules, you're gonna be confused as hell. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I be like, it's not just simply a trading thing where all this stress, confusion, trial and error comes into play. This is everything in life, right? Video games, sports, all the same thing. Sounds getting choppy. Can y'all hear me better now? Not bad. I usually have my earphones in, but I'm letting them charge. Let me see if we sound better. Tomorrow I'm gonna have them in so I can make sure I sound good. But I sound better now, so hopefully I wasn't choppy for too long. But yeah, y'all. So again, GN, beautiful setup right here. Everything else we're just waiting to wake up. You know, we see GJ still in reversal territory, right? And this is where people be like, "Oh, they're building orders." Yes, that's technically true, but also it's reversal territory. We're just waiting for volume to pick up. So again, that's why I be like, multiple things can be true at the same time. But just having that mindset that the charts are out to get you is not. It's not going to help you a lot because charts are out to get you. At the end of the day, let's put this back to gold. See what's going on here. I don't know what USF is, but we're not going to find out. Now it's just rejected that level. So we'll hold this low as resistance. Again, now it's going to hold this low as resistance here at 19,100. We can look for sales going down to 18,990. Again, acknowledge this gap here. Acknowledge the big dump to the downside. Retracement to retest can happen, but we can hold as low as resistance. We can see the sales as low as 18,860. Again, as far as news today, going during New York session, but later on tonight at 11:30, there is Australian news. So we're just waiting for volume and our confirmations to be met. All right. All right. So again, this is why you don't want to breakout trade or break or steer away from the playbook. You always hear me talk about retest confirmations, right? Imagine we missed this buy. As soon as price dropped, it was such a rush to go for it. We went for a buy instead of just waiting for to see if price could hold. We'd be taking an unnecessary loss. Versus, again, you're on to being alive. We saw price retrace here. We waited for the retest confirmation, which was this wick. And you happen at the price showed us holding that support. Boom. And look here, blew through this level, right? So was this a fake out? So let's talk about it. Was this a fake out? Some people will say this was a fake out. But in reality, I wouldn't really even call it a fake out because, again, what are the rules for uptrends? You got to break resistance levels holding that support. Just like right here, price hit this resistance level, rejected. That's what's supposed to do. Price hit this resistance level, rejected again. And so what? Volume picked up and then broke through the level. Same thing here. Price rejected this level, retested, turned this resistance into support, volume picked up and blew through this level. That's how shit works. That's just how shit works. All right, same thing here. Price was consolidating, volume picked up, blew through the level. Right? Price was treated as low as resistance, volume picked up, blew through the level. All right. This is how it works. This is how it works. All right. Shout out to everybody in the live, y'all. Shout out to everybody that's been alive since the beginning. Shout out to everybody that's been alive since y'all born. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join free student for Telegram. You see on your screen how we did last month and last quarter. Again, today is the last day of the month. Going to be posting later on this week. If not tonight, probably tomorrow. The recap of the month. Later on this week, we're going to do the recap of the quarter, all that good stuff. But if you want to go ahead and see how we've been doing, you can just go ahead and hit that first link. Make sure to also watch the Sunday chart analysis. Like I always say, the Sunday chart analysis goes over not just what we see price doing Sunday night going into Monday, but it goes over what we see price doing throughout the entire week. All right, y'all. If you're interested in how to identify these levels, the Signature Service and Mentorship Program, make sure to hit those links in the description. Again, y'all DM me. I'll give you a special discount code for the playbook. But yeah, we're going to be back at it same time tomorrow. Lending session. We might go live on TikTok, y'all. I'll let you know if we're going to go live on TikTok.